Hello, and welcome to SG Top Celebrities, the channel where we explore timeless stories and the stars who brought them to life. Today, we're traveling back to 1870s America, to the open plains of Walnut Grove, Minnesota, where a simple wooden wagon rolls across golden fields, carrying a family with big dreams and even bigger hearts. This is the story of the Ingalls family, and the very first episode of one of television's most beloved series, Little House on the Prairie. The episode is titled A Harvest of Friends. And it's not just the beginning of a TV show. It's the start of a legacy that would touch millions of viewers around the world, including families right here in Singapore. Over the next 30 minutes, I'll walk you through every key moment of this historic premiere, from the dusty trail to the first harvest, from quiet fears to joyful friendships. We'll meet the characters, uncover the real history behind the fiction, and shine a light on the young stars who became household names overnight. So sit back, relax, and let's step into the world of Little House on the Prairie, where kindness grows faster than wheat, and every neighbor is a friend waiting to be found. The journey begins. Our story opens not in a town, but on a vast, empty prairie. A covered wagon creaks slowly over rough terrain. Inside are Charles Ingalls, his wife Caroline, their daughters Mary and Laura, and baby Carrie. They've left behind the familiar woods of Wisconsin to chase a dream. 160 acres of free land promised by the U.S. government under the Homestead Act. Charles, played by the legendary Michael Landon, is full of quiet confidence. He believes in hard work, honesty, and God's providence. As he tells Laura, "When you get a chance to sit down, you take it. But when you get a chance to stand up for what's right, you take that too." But the prairie is no paradise. It's wild, lonely, and unforgiving. There are no neighbors, no stores, no school, just wind, grass, and sky. Caroline, portrayed with grace by Grassle, worries. She's left behind her piano, her books, her sense of safety. Yet she trusts Charles, and she hides her fears for the sake of her children. And then there's Laura, just 8 years old, wide-eyed and curious. Played by Melissa Gilbert, who was only 9 years old during filming, Laura is our eyes and ears. She's brave but impulsive, loving but stubborn. And already, in this first episode, we see why she'll become the heart of the series. Her older sister, Mary, played by Melissa Sue Anderson, is gentle, obedient, and already showing signs of the quiet strength that will define her later life. Especially as she begins to lose her sight, though that's still seasons away. As the family builds their home from logs and sod, we see their first real test: survival. One evening, disaster strikes. While Charles is away hunting, a prairie fire races toward the cabin, sparked by lightning or perhaps a careless spark. Flames leap through the dry grass like a living beast. Caroline, alone with the children, must act fast. She remembers Charles's advice: to stop a fire, you burn the grass in front of it. With trembling hands, she lights a backfire, a small controlled burn, creating a barrier that saves their home. It's a moment of incredible courage, and it shows us that Caroline is far more than just a frontier wife. She's a survivor. When Charles returns, he doesn't praise her. He simply holds her. And in that silence, we understand everything. This scene wasn't just drama. It was based on real pioneer experiences. Prairie fires were deadly common, and women often had to defend their homes alone. The show's creators wanted to honor that truth. Just when the Ingalls think they're truly alone, help arrives in the most unexpected way. A rough-looking man on horseback appears, boots muddy, hat low, voice gruff. He introduces himself as Isaiah Edwards, played by Victor French, Michael Landon's real-life friend and frequent co-star. At first, Charles is wary, but Edwards proves his worth quickly. He helps rebuild the barn, shares his food, and teaches Laura how to whoop like a wildcat. In one of the episode's most touching scenes, Edwards gives Laura a doll made from a corn husk, because he heard her say she missed her old toys. It's a small gift, but to Laura, it's priceless. And then comes the harvest. The wheat is ready, but Charles has no help to bring it in before the rain comes. Just as despair sets in, Edwards returns, not alone, but with a whole group of neighbors he's rounded up from miles away. "You don't gotta do it alone, Charlie," he says. Together, they cut the wheat, stack the sheaves, and save the crop. That night, there's music, laughter, and a shared meal under the stars. This is the meaning of a harvest of friends. Not just grain from the field, but trust, kindness, and community from the heart. Now, let's step behind the camera. A Harvest of Friends first aired on September 11, 1974, and it was an instant hit. But it almost didn't happen. Michael Landon, already famous from Bonanza, fought hard to get NBC to greenlight the show. Executives thought a quiet family drama wouldn't compete with action-packed series, but Landon believed in the message. People are hungry for goodness. He didn't just star in it. He wrote, produced, and directed this very first episode. And he insisted on filming on real locations in California, not studio sets, to capture the vastness of the prairie. Young Melissa Gilbert was discovered in a shopping mall. She auditioned against hundreds of girls, but it was her natural energy and emotional honesty that won the role of Laura. Fun fact, she and Melissa Sue Anderson, Mary, became best friends off-screen too. The iconic theme music, composed by David Rose, and that gentle piano melody would become one of the most recognized TV themes in history. Interestingly, the real Laura Ingalls Wilder, author of the original books, had passed away in 1957. But her daughter, Rose Wilder Lane, worked as a consultant on early episodes to ensure the spirit of the books remained intact. Why does this 50-year-old episode still move us? Because it speaks to universal truths. Family is your anchor. In a world of uncertainty, the Ingalls stick together through fire, fear, and fatigue. Kindness is strength. Mr. Edwards isn't rich or educated, but his generosity changes everything. Community saves us. No one succeeds alone. The harvest isn't saved by one man, but by many hands. These values resonated deeply in the 1970s, a time of social change, economic worry, and war. And they still matter today, in Singapore, in America, everywhere. In fact, many Singaporean families in the 1980s watched Little House on Channel 5, drawn to its simple morals and strong family bonds, values that echo in our own culture. The show never preached, it showed, and that's why it lasted 9 seasons and inspired generations. What happens next? A Harvest of Friends ends with the Ingalls safe, fed, and no longer alone. But their journey is just beginning. In the next episodes, they'll face illness, school struggles, financial hardship, and the arrival of new neighbors, both kind and cruel. Mary will begin to lose her sight. Laura will grow into a spirited teenager. Charles will take on roles as sheriff, storekeeper, and moral guide. And through it all, the message remains: home isn't a place. It's the people who love you. Celebrity. Spotlight. Where are they now? Let's check in on the stars who made this episode unforgettable. Michael Landon went on to create Highway to Heaven and remained a TV icon until his tragic death from pancreatic cancer in 1991 at age 54. He's remembered not just as an actor, but as a storyteller who believed in hope. Melissa Gilbert became America's sweetheart. She later played Ma Ingalls in the TV movies, served as president of the Screen Actors Guild, and even ran for U.S. Congress. She still speaks fondly of her Prairie family, Karen. Grassle, May, continued acting and became an advocate for women's rights and environmental causes. Victor French, Mr. Edwards, starred with Landon again in Highway to Heaven before passing away in 1989. Fans still call him TV's greatest friend, And the two Melissas, they've stayed connected to the Little House legacy, attending fan conventions and sharing memories with new generations. If this journey back to the prairie moved you, or if you remember watching Little House with your family, please leave a comment below. Tell us your favorite memory or which character you related to most. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to SG Top Celebrities, and hit the bell, so you never miss our deep dives into classic shows and the stars who shaped them. Even though Little House isn't from Singapore, its message of family, resilience, and friendship is universal, and that's why it still matters. Thank you for spending these 30 minutes with me. As Pa Ingalls would say, every day is a new harvest, if you're willing to plant kindness. Until next time, from all of us at SG Top Celebrities, take care and keep believing in good stories. Music swells gently, then fades out.